Right folks, hi Leslie here at Gers TV. Just going to have a wee 10-minute chat with Gordy regarding the transfer window that's about to close in the next 2 hours, or next hour and a half really. Not a lot's happened. I thought there would be a wee bit more, to be honest. However, we are where we are. Just waiting on Gordy calling in here. You can let us know your own opinions on it as well, whether you think it was a good enough transfer window. I think we were all expecting it to be a bit more lively than what it was for sure. It's a bit disappointment. Underwhelming's probably the better term for it. I don't see there being any more business done tonight. Hello, Gordy.
Hi Simon, how's it going?
Aye, all good, mate. So you're live on TV just now. We're just quickly going to review the Rangers transfers over the winter.
That should take about 7 seconds.
Aye, well that's what I'm just saying. It's pretty underwhelming, to be fair.
Yeah.
Nobody major has left. That's the big thing so far. We've got an hour and a half left.
So let's just go. So let's go through it then. So I'll just read out, if you like, the players that have left. Okay. So Alex Lowry has left permanently.
Yeah.
He's away to Western Wanderers, and then a lot of loans out. So technically speaking, now these might well turn into full transfers, but technically speaking, Matondo and Kieran Dow, who have been around the first team for the last kind of year or two, are away to Hanover and Birmingham. Robbie Fraser is away to loan on to Livingston. Cole McKinnon, young midfielder, is away to United.
Yeah, United, yep.
Archie Stevens, young promising attacking midfielder. It says forward here, but he's more of an attacking midfielder. He's away to Dunfermline. Adam Devine has went to Queen's Park, and younger players Josh Gentles and Blaine McClure have went to Alloa and Kelly. They're kind of under 18 players, are not really, focusing on the first team. So what do you think about, first of all, Matondo and Dull and Robbie Fraser leaving?
We had a wee chat about it, myself and Ryan and Lewis at the weekend there. We were saying about Matondo. It's almost guaranteed he's going to leave Rangers, go on loan and have a great few months with Hanover. Then you watch the game and you watch the highlights of the game against HSV and he scores an absolute screamer. However...
It was kind of carbon copy of his goal against Celtic last season.
Aye, the very same move, but however, on that, I don't think it's going to be a great... Rangers are going to miss Matondo, to be fair. I think it's a good move for both the club and the player.
I mean, it's one of these situations where if he goes away on loan and has a cracking season, then he might come back to Rangers a better player. They might want to keep him then. Or if he goes away and he does well and Hanover get promoted, they might want to buy him. So it's a win-win situation. But I just think he's a player that came in and he has got potential, no doubt about it, but he's just very inconsistent and you don't really know what his injury status is as well. So he won't be massively missed. However, it could be a player in a few years' time that we hear a lot more about.
Aye, we'll have to it's just one of the ones, as you say, play it by ear. We'll watch him at the end of the season and see how it goes, but I really don't think we'll miss him. I think we've got better players in that position, to be fair.
Yep. So I was quite disappointed to see Alex Lowry leave for kind of permanently. I think we haven't gone on Rangers, and the fact that we brought in Lyle Cameron, we could talk about that in a second, but up to that point we didn't really have a lot of kind of Scottish youngsters, and we need Scottish youngsters even just for UEFA squads, etc. So quite surprised about that, but then you look at it and you go, well, if he's only away to a team like Wickham Wanderers, then how good is he?
Aye, well, I would have agreed with that last year that we'd miss him, but I think when he went to Hearts, he had a good goal. He scored for Hearts. Apart from that, he didn't really do anything of note. And he's came back to Rangers, and I think it's about his attitude. I'm not really sure. I've heard the stories about his attitude. I just feel as if Rangers are... The way Rangers play and the way he was playing didn't suit the team. And I don't see that changing. I think it's probably a good move going to the lower leagues in England for him.
Yeah, and then Kieran Dow, the guy who seems to get a game for every manager, but no one really knows why.
It's a bit. That's one of the ones I'm really happy that he's away. I never liked him as a player at Rangers. He he did nothing for me. And we had too many midfield players at that point that aren't good enough to play for the club. Will he do well with Birmingham? I really don't know, but it's a loan move, so you're hoping he does do well. I mean, get shot.
Yeah, it was quite weird. It was quite weird because seeing Saturday, I looked at the Birmingham on kind of live scored on it, and I was interested. I think they drew or they were winning, and it was interesting to see they had Ben Davies, Scott Wright, and Kieran Dull on the team sheet. So quite the kind of ex-Rangers contingent there.
Aye, and the other thing as well is Ben Davies is actually playing really well for them.
Apparently so, yeah. He's been smashing it down there, and you know, apart from the Old Firm, you've got to say that League Two down there probably a similar level to the rest of Scotland outside the Old Firm. So maybe take on a good weekend, take Aberdeen, Hibs, and Hearts out of that, but not half the time probably not. But so decent level down there. So again, hopefully that will add to their value as well, and it gets people off the wage bill.
Well, somebody at Birmingham City is obviously doing us a wee favour, because that's 3 players that we were glad, or I was glad to get rid of. They're on loan, aye, but it's 3 players that have took it off the wage bill for us short term.
Yeah, no, for sure. So bought in Fernandes from France on loan. Obviously, that's the only big signing this year. Like, it's not really big. I wouldn't say it's a big signing anyway. But Rafael Fernandes came on for Lille. He's not really played a lot of first team football. He's got his debut on Sunday against Ross County, albeit 4-0 up, so not really tested. But I think he's just there for a bit of cover.
I'm actually really happy with some of the moves that Rangers have made. I've been critical of Clement in the past. However, one thing that he has said was that he wanted to lower the age limit of the team, and the players that he's buying all seem to be technically gifted players around the age of 22 to 24.
Yeah, and we've agreed a contract today for Lyle Cameron.
Yeah.
So Lyle Cameron's been Dundee, 22 years of age, again, youngster player. He's scored twice in 8 games for Scotland under 21s, and he's played 108 games for Dundee, scored 27 goals and had 12 assists. So again, he's a kind of attacking midfielder. So it's a young kind of Scottish player, probably the opposite of Conor Barron in midfield. So Barron's more kind of defence-minded work rate, whereas Lyle Cameron certainly seems like a more attacking player that's capable of scoring goals, and that's interesting.
Aye, I mean, we'll be screaming out for Rangers supporters and young Scottish lads to be at the club. I believe he is a Rangers man. He's certainly got the potential. You can see what he can do with a club like Dundee. Then he can certainly do that with Rangers if he gets a chance. He won't be signing he won't officially join the club till the summer. Which, again, the big thing for me is he just stays fit until he gets to Ibrox.
Aye.
But
you never know.
He's one of the players that the young Scottish talent that's out there just now, and I'm glad that the club got him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have seen McGowan move to Celtic this season for Dundee. He's done, I think Luke McGowan's his name, and he's a good player for Dundee, and he's actually done well, to be fair. Much as we don't like talking about other clubs, he's done reasonably well since he moved there. So it'd be good to see if he's in the same mould as him. And certainly we've had success with Conor Barron. Conor Barron's kind of fallen out the automatic first team places in the last couple of months as Clements went to 2 up front. Somebody's had to drop out, but it's good to see. We've been crying out for kind of young Scottish players, and
we've also had the argument that there's a kind of snobbery towards Scottish players recently, and that looks to be changing. So that's welcome.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Yeah, I mean, certainly if you've got your established first team players, if you've got a kind of core of kind of younger Scottish players, maybe between 18, 19, 20, 21 that are decent talents ready to challenge for a first team place, so they can come in. So the games against Ross County, for example. So when we're playing teams like Ross County and Ibrox on Sunday there, if you've got guys like Lyle Cameron at the club and maybe another Scottish striker, guys like, they can come in and give your older players, more experienced players, a bit of rest.
Aye, I mean, I think the project seems to be more long term than short term, and as Rangers supporters we want short term, we want a quick fix. Realistically, you're probably looking at we've got the Scottish Cup left and a run in Europe. As far as the league's concerned, that's probably gone by now, to be fair. So they're looking at next season and having a stronger and a younger, fitter squad. and that's something that we've been crying out for on this channel. I'm looking at again Mane as well on that list as players that's came in the last season, and I think that we've got a lot of young, skillful players and fast players as well. The boy, how do I pronounce his name? Nasala. I've watched him in the last couple of weeks. He was supposed to be a project player, but he's came right into the team and settled in.
Yeah.
And they might know. We're going to have to add 3 players into our European squad, and I think him, Hadji, and Danilo will probably be the 3. And that's a boy that wasn't going to get a game this season.
Yeah, no, for sure. So
also, he was a free transfer. I've just noticed as well. So maybe we're getting the business done better than in the past.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, it's one of these situations where you hope it pans out, and as I say, like for somebody coming in, it's good to get these players in because at least if it doesn't, worst case scenario, he comes in next season. He doesn't make it, but he plays maybe 12 to 15 games. You sell him for a couple of million. So our problem, I think anyone can see our problem with the last 5 years really has been that lack of planning, where we're letting our best talented players either go for very little, or we're desperate to sell them, or they go on a free transfer. I mean, that in the season 2 years ago when they paraded all the released players was embarrassing, really.
Get nothing for them.
Get nothing for them, and we talent at the club. I know the last season they didn't play too well, but we had guys like Kent and Morelos that at the peak of their powers, we could have got 20-25 million for them.
The interesting one with that as well is Kent's obviously free. He's a free agent now, and we kind of thought he would maybe come to the club, come back, but I don't see any more business tonight, to be honest. Are you still there?
Yeah. I was just looking at something.
So I don't see any more business, to be honest, with the club. However, I will note as well, it's alright being disappointed at lack of signings, but I'm very, very glad that we kept Dessers. I know a lot of people get on his back and he misses easy wins and everything else, but he's proven his ability in the last couple of weeks and his attitude's fantastic, and that's good for the younger players. Yeah,
no, for sure. And I listen, I'm aligned Dessers most weeks, and I'm the first to admit it. And the first to say that he's very, very frustrating. But the fact of the matter is, he has scored something like 42 goals in 2 seasons now.
That's some ratio.
He just misses the frustrating ones where he's 2 yards out, but then he scores absolute crackers. So sorry, it's a background noise. That's it gone. So I mean, there's still time. I'm a bit disappointed. I would have thought that qualifying for Europe, the last 16. Automatically freeing up a bit of time, that's good. That's good because we get a week's rest basically, where there's no European game Thursday to Sunday. For 2 weeks. But I thought that it might free up a little bit of money for making a move for Sunday. To be honest, I thought I'm quite disappointed that maybe not making a move for Sunday. But at the same time, do you want to? I think you're right what you're saying, mate. To be honest, I think all realistically, the league's gone and the cup's our best option, maybe a European run. So what's the point in spending millions of pounds now when it's ultimately for nothing?
I think that's it. I think they're definitely looking at the long-term project. So the way I'm looking at it, it's not the best transfer window, but it's certainly not the worst. That's my opinion on it. I would have expected
quiet. It's just, I mean, you look at it and it's just really, really quiet all round. I mean, we haven't made a permanent sign in this transfer window. We've got somebody coming in, but that's not till the summer. So we haven't. I mean, do we need? Let's look at the team. So, I mean, defensively, we brought in Fernandes on loan for cover. I still think we're short on defence. I don't think we're short on midfield. But I don't know about up front because we've got obviously Danilo, who's permanently injured. So I'd like to see him moved on to someone actually. But I think you can maybe bring in. So I don't think if you're looking to bring in Sunday. So I'm just going to use this guy as an example, right? But I don't think they'll do it, right? But it's an example. Lawrence Shankland, for example, right? Now, I think that has gone for us now. I don't know when to sign him after all now. But if it's somebody like that, why not just pay $500,000 get him in, get him blooded, get him used to Ibrox, get him used to the games, get him running the team, and then he's got a full pre-season ahead of him. Same as Lyle Cameron. Do you know what I mean? Like, why not just bring him in for $250,000, and he's got the rest of the season to get up to speed. He'll play a few games. He'll get used to the way we play with trading, and then he's got the whole pre-season with Rangers.
I actually thought they would have done that with Cameron, and I thought it would have just paid the extra money and got him in right away.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, it's £250,000 probably don't have right now, but at the end of the day, it's like that gives you all of February, March, April, May. It gets him. He can play in a few cup games. Probably. I mean, if you brought him in before, you could probably play against Queen's Park on Sunday. To be honest.
Aye. He would scale it.
And then he comes into the team and he's used to the team. He's used to his colleagues, used to his teammates. He's used to the players around him. He's used to the way the manager trains. He's got a chance to impress. He's got a chance to get fit. He's got a chance to understand the new tactics. So it's a challenge coming for a club to Dundee, to a club like Rangers. It's a massive, massive step up, and it's a different way of thinking. It's a different way of life. So why not just give him that few months to get used to it, and then come pre-season, he's got a full pre-season with his new club.
Aye, again, it might be purely down to what you said, money. Maybe just the club can't afford it. There's also the financial fair play rules as well. That forbids us from buying certain players. The big transfers.
No, I'm sorry. I think that using financial fair play is something that, I mean, you don't. I mean, financial fair play, Rangers shouldn't be anywhere near the financial fair play rules because, well, especially not for playing like something like Lyle Cameron for £250,000. Yeah. I mean, we can't just, if somebody comes in tomorrow and says, right, there's £50 million, we can't just go out and spend £50 million on a player, right? That's what it's there for. But I would like to think that we've got enough financial wherewithal to be able to spend, £250,000 an hour on a player.
Aye, so it's maybe just a case that they're just waiting till the summer, and that's when the planning goes again. But I'm confident we can do well in the Europa, when I've seen the way that the draws kind of worked out. And the Scottish Cup's here for there to be won. We know that we can.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, because you can see. Listen, you can't really bet against Rangers in the Europa League on the first day, but you can't really bet for them now as well. So it's going to be interesting. I think certainly we've got a great chance to get to the quarterfinals at least, and then after that, it's 2 games to the final again. You never know. So I think that if you look at the draw, I mean, we've proved that we can go toe to toe with good teams this season. We went away to Nice, we went away to Olympiacos. We put up we were only injury time defeated Man United, and we drew against a good Spurs, even though Spurs are a very good team. And as I say, we've got great victories away at Lyon and Malmo. Even Malmo, forget about Malmo. Malmo are a good team, and forget about that game. And then obviously we've done the business against UFG at the end there. So, and UFG got to the quarterfinals a couple of years ago. And
I think they had been beaten in 13 European games as well. I think it was something like that.
Yeah, they've gone up. They've won a few games, and Olympiacos have been unbeaten at home for about 5 years or something as well.
We've got the knack of breaking the records when it comes to European teams.
Yeah, so I think that the money's obviously doing well for us. We've got players. I said this, I've really said this in the show a few times, that I actually, looking back on this season, I think this season was a free hit for the board and for the manager at Rangers. Not by the end of really in the summer, not by any end in January. That's why he was given a year's contract, because this was a year just with nothing happening.
Aye, well, let's hope we get one of the cups.
It sounds pretty sad, but come on, I mean, he's obviously, when he came in, I believe we were already in the cup finals, so you can't really give him that, but he's got to he's been in 3 cup finals in a row under, come on.
Well, the other thing I would say with that, Gordy, he's been robbed at 2 cup finals.
He has, and we've also, we've been, we have reached the last, I believe it is actually the last 16 every 5 seasons in a row in Europe as well. So
yeah,
we've got that consistency in Europe, and it's just the fact that there's been a real lack of leadership and strategy when it comes to transfers. Well,
there's an hour and 15 minutes left for the transfer window, but I'm going to get up the road. Good to get a chat.
I'm just starting to spiral off the other topics now. There's not really been a lot. There's been some exciting signings down south. Spurs have bought that Matthias Ted to Bayern Munich, and Aston Villa have brought in Rashford from Man United on loan, and Marco Asensio from PSG. So stuff happening down south, but I always find it funny when you look at the Premier League updates and then you look at the Scottish Premier updates.
Aye, it's a different
I've always
world.
found that funny. Aye, cool. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting any big transfers tonight. I think it's. You know what? There's not any rumours.
No, Rangers have came out and said that's our business done. So I'm assuming it will be. It's a case of you can go to your bed early and just chill and relax.
Yeah.
I don't see much more happening, to be honest.
Okay. The one final thing to mention. Sorry, mate. I think that we're looking to get Zach Lovelace away tonight.
I think he's away. As far as I know, he's away.
I'm not sure. I was just reading the BBC stuff, and it just says that they're working on it. They haven't actually.
Aye, so they've got.
But that could be wrong. But I'm not.
I just remembered that. I
I
heard that in the radio on the way in there. That I thought that deal was done, but it might be just on the process. A bit disappointing. I think he's going back to Millwall. Millwall were raging when we signed him, but it's not really worked out for the boy, to be honest.
Yeah, injuries as well, so it's been a bit unlucky. But okay, well, get yourself home, get yourself relaxing,
Up the road.
and I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow for a live show. If people are listening, then don't forget, guys, Gers TV live tomorrow night.
7 o'clock. See you then, mate.
Cool. Okay. Good night. God bless, etc. See ya. Bye bye.
We are the people.